Welcome to the Voice of Reason Sports Podcast. Make sure you subscribe to the show, leave a comment, and click that like button. Welcome back to the Voice of Reason Sports Podcast. This is the Marvelous Lone, back at it again with Dale. What's good, fella?
Yo, what up, man? Back for another app.
Yes, sir. Let's do it, man. Yeah, Saints fans. Surprise, surprise. You know, what did we expect? I mean, I'm just glad it didn't turn as ugly as I thought it was going to turn, right? It started out 21-0. That's pretty ugly.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to get even worse.
First.
Yeah, it was pretty ugly at first, but in a way, I was kind of hoping that it would get ugly. And I know it sounds horrible as a Saints fan to say that, to want to see your team get destroyed. But this coaching staff, they got to be held accountable. And the fact that the team kept fighting and came back, it saved this coaching staff. And I don't know if that's a good thing or not. You know what I'm saying? Because it gives you hope. I mean, really, yeah, okay, Derek Carr went through a stretch where he was 15 for 15. But yeah, we were already down 21-0. The opposing team, they kind of take their foot off the gas. Yeah. And, you know, they kind of let you get back into the game. So I can't really say whether or not, you know, we figured it out, or did the Lions just kind of take their foot off the gas? I don't know.
I don't think they took their foot off the gas because I watched that game. I was watching it, and I mean, you know, the first 21 points weren't like they just was running consistent plays. There was some things that were happening bad for the Saints, and some good stuff was happening for the Lions. Yeah, it was not sustainable. That what was happening in that first quarter was not sustainable.
Well, no, I get what you're saying. But the first drive of the game, the Lions went 80 yards.
Yep.
First drive of the game, they made it
right
look
down
easy.
The field.
Right down the field. And then when the Saints got the ball, Derek Carr threw the interception, which wasn't his fault. Jawan Johnson, we might have to question whether or not he should be playing, because this dude has been playing awful. And he dropped that ball. Derek Carr threw a great ball to him. He dropped it. The defender caught the interception. And then eventually
the one where he caught it and it tipped up, like he put his hands out and it tipped up over his hands?
And it just bounced off his hand. Bounced
off his hands and went up. Yeah.
Grown man dropped the ball. I just don't understand that. You know, I don't understand grown men catching the ball with their chest and grown men dropping balls when they hit them in the hands.
Professional grown man.
Right. Exactly. Professional grown men dropping footballs. I don't understand it, but that happened. Lions got the ball. Lions broke a record. First team to put up 21 points in 7 minutes, you know, to start a game. It was ridiculous.
Ever?
Apparently so. That's what they said during the broadcast, which I thought was kind of surprising. I was like, man, all the games that's happened in the NFL, that's the first time that's happened. But at least that's what they said. I just got to believe it. But anyway, I mean, I didn't expect the Saints to win this game. Right now, the concern going into the next game against the Panthers is whether or not Derek Carr is going to play. He suffered a concussion. He also hurt his shoulder. Apparently has some rib and back injury from it, damage from this game. So there's a question on whether or not he's going to play. If I'm the Saints, my starting quarterback has had 2 concussions in 4 weeks. 3 weeks, actually 3 weeks.
Yep.
I'm sitting him out. I'm concerned for the guy's health, you know, at this point. Because, I mean, you know, something has to be done. There should be some rules in this concussion protocol that says if you've had 2 concussions in 3-4 weeks, you need to sit out a game. And so, I don't know if he's going to play. Jameis Winston scares me. You know, I mean, you know, there was a ball he threw in this game where the defender was sitting there waiting for it. It was like it was going to be intercepted by the defender. He threw it right to him. And it could have been just miscommunication. But it just follows along with the legend of Jameis Winston. And just so happened, another defender came and tipped the ball away from him, and Chris Olave caught it for a big gain. So it worked out. But that's the whole thing with him. Sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. I'm I'm concerned with him going into the game against the Panthers, the 1-11 Panthers. He doesn't play well against the Panthers. Matter of fact, his last 2 times playing the Panthers, the Saints have been blown out with him at quarterback. So
Wow.
yes, we've been blown out by the Panthers. Bad team. Blown out last 2 times we played them. So yeah, not good going against the Panthers. We'll see what happens. I'll let you know who I pick. Yeah. I got to think about it with this. I mean, the Panthers are 1-11, but considering we're going to this game with Jameis Winston, I gotta really think about it. Well, I've already thought about it. I'll let you know what I chose. So.
Hey, it was an unexpectedly close game for me. I'm sorry. I just like I said, I don't believe in Seattle. And Gino played out his mind.
That's what I was about to say. Gino had a good game.
Played out of his mind. Yes, he threw 41 times. Usually, if Gino throw the ball 41 times, it's a disaster.
Right.
Okay. But he threw up, 300 yards, 330 yards, 3 touchdowns, started out on fire. People are starting to find out the weakness on Bland. And, for as good as he played in the plays that he's made, I mean, I'm not going to get on him too bad because he's made some plays for us. He's broke an NFL record, 5 pick sixes in a season. Never been done before, so you had to be making some kind of play. Even though he's been beneficial, he benefited from some situations.
Or good D line.
He still made the play.
You know what I'm saying? Everybody exactly.
Yeah. He made the play. Yeah. Everybody had a chance to benefit from them same situations. You know what I'm saying? So when he made them, he cashed in. So I gotta give credit for that. But he got torched this game. They put up a little stat. I think he had 7 receptions against him for 152 yards.
Wow.
Not good.
No.
Like half of Gino's yardage came on him. And that first play went to Metcalf for like 70 yards off the break. It was on him and the safety. I don't know what the safety was doing playing up that close to the line of scrimmage. Don't even get it. But whatever happened, they got toasted. Then we finally got smart and said, hey, no more Bland or Metcalf. Gilmore, go get him. And Gilmore started following him around the field. Start going with him on that side, going with him on this side. He went wherever Metcalf went. You know what I'm saying? And that slowed Metcalf down. Everybody keeps saying, well, why you keep throwing the Metcalf? No, we put Gilmore on him.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That slowed him down.
Because that probably was the Seahawks game plan going into that attack Bland. Like they probably saw something on the film that said, "Oh, this dude can be taken."
Well, after they had the first half, they definitely did that because then they start throwing it to Lockett. Lockett started getting the ball all of a sudden. Start picking. I was like, oh man, they picking on him now. Man, they picking on him. And the thing is, he has his strengths and he has his weaknesses. His strengths is when you catch the ball in front of him, he can make the play. He can change the direction, come up and make the play. That's his thing. He makes his play coming up toward the line of scrimmage. But when you give him them double moves,
he's biting on everything.
You run by him, he bites on you. He's looking in the backfield. He's kind of, you know what I'm saying? So when you're doing those deep patterns, that's his problem. Those deep corners, those deep posts, the double moves, the out and ups, the hitch and goes. That's what is the problem with Bland, and I really hope he works on that. But with that being said, this ain't the Bland game. We ain't gonna just talk about Bland. Because Gino played out of his mind, but so did Dak. Dak played out of his mind again. He's on a little roll. He put up almost 300, 299, can't ban him, but he leads the league in in touchdowns.
Oh, he does?
Yes, he now leads the league in touchdown passes.
What happened?
26 touchdowns and only 6 interceptions.
That's elite numbers.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So, you know what I'm saying? 70% completion percentage for the season. So, you know what I'm saying? He's doing the thing. Now, I was shocked that my defense only got 1 sack on Gino. We gave so many points on them. When I seen other defenses lock them down, like when they played the Ravens, you know what I'm saying? And they couldn't score. But, I'm looking at this as an abnormality, something on the side that ain't going to normally happen. but you know what I'm saying. We got a tough one, and that's another thing. Also, we had Philly on deck. We had
Yep.
Philly on deck, so we
Yep.
might have been looking past them just a little bit.
Mm.
And when they went up on us, we had to kind of get our grips, get our stuff together, come back in the game, and Dak took us to the victory on that.
Yeah, that's right. You guys got the last score of the game to pull ahead, right? Because
That's
you fell
right.
behind.
Yep. And then
Yeah.
defense had to close it out.
Okay. Well, I mean, we'll see, man. I know y'all got the Eagles. Y'all got a big game coming up next. I'll be checking it out.
Real big Eagles. And then, like I told you, they pretty beat up right now. I told you this last week.
Yeah.
After they play San Francisco, you're gonna be beat up.
Yeah. San Francisco
You're
will
gonna
beat
be
you.
beat up.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
And that's
That
what
was
I'm
a
worried
physical
about.
ball.
That's what I'm worried about with the Saints. I mean, they got pretty beat up in this game, and you exert a lot of energy to come back when you fall down like that.
That's right. That's right.
You put a lot of effort into coming back and to lose. Just and I've never seen the Superdome like this. And keep in mind, I know you're gonna say about the bags and all that stuff. That's my dad's Saints. Okay, I didn't grow up with the Saints when they were wearing bags on their head and stuff like that. That's my dad's Saints. Okay, my
when
Saints
they were
started when they
Aints.
were the Aints. My Saints came with Jim Mora. No Mora excuses. Okay.
Right.
Okay. With the Dome Patrol. That's the Saints I knew. I don't know these other Saints. Okay. So I hadn't heard the Dome like this, where there were more Lions fans than Saints fans. Saints fans are getting frustrated with this team. They're starting to lose the fans. And it got to a point in the game. And I've been saying this all along. I don't say why the Saints won't do it. And I think it's more Dennis Allen. He refuses to do it. But the fans started to boo Derek Carr when he came into the game. So the Saints do this switcheroo thing with quarterbacks now. It's Taysom Hill, and then it's Derek Carr. Derek Carr do like 4 plays. Taysom Hill come in and do 2 plays. We got a 2 quarterback system like we're in high school. Okay.
Yeah.
And it got to the point where the fans started to boo Derek Carr when he came out on the field and cheer on Taysom Hill when he came out on the field.
What they say, if you got 2 quarterbacks, you have
none. Exactly. So, but I must say that the offense did improve in the red zone. Of course, Taysom Hill did the majority of it in the red zone. Derek Carr had some success there as well. So, but you got to ask yourself, we were 4 for 4 in the red zone, which is really good. But is that the Saints have improved, or is it just the fact that the Lions have one of the worst red zone defenses in the league? So I have to see more. I think the Panthers are better defensively, so we'll see what happens when we play the Panthers. But I feel a lot better playing the Panthers because I don't think their offense is that good. So
yeah, the offense is pretty terrible. They gotta have one of the worst ranked offenses as far as yards, touchdowns, red zone. They gotta have the worst in every category.
I think so. And look, I feel bad for Bryce Young. I think eventually he'll be a decent quarterback in this league. But the fact that they threw him out there to the wolves, some cases I'm okay with you throwing a rookie quarterback out there to start the season. Some cases I'm okay with that. In some cases, it's like, let the veteran play and let the rookie learn from him. This is one of those cases. And there was one game where Bryce Young could not play, and they played Andy Dalton. And Andy Dalton played well. They nearly beat the Seahawks. They scored a ton of points. And then it went right back to Bryce Young. And it's like, well, why not let the kid learn from Andy Dalton? The old widely veteran. I don't know. I don't get it. Maybe that's why they fired the head coach. So
well, I mean, he could. I mean, like Andy Dalton, actually, when he had his time, he actually came in and played very good, played serviceable.
He did.
I mean, almost went there and beat Seattle.
Yeah.
In Seattle. So
in Seattle. And when he played for us, he played well too. In fact, last season, Andy Dalton was the quarterback when we beat the Raiders 24-0. The Derek Carr led Raiders 24-0. I mean, the Raiders couldn't even pass midfield against us in that game. But and speaking of that, I mean, speaking of my defense is falling apart. I'm concerned about them. They let the Lions in that first half. They let the Lions run up and down the field. Now they seem to have figured out in the second half, but they didn't. They for whatever reason, they couldn't shut down the tight end. The tight end was killing us. And I think it's because they didn't want to let St. Brown go to town on us. So they double covered him and allowed the tight end to go man to man, but the tight end was beating us. So that's kind of how the Lions closed out the games. I like what the Lions are doing. I'm happy for them. I mean, the Lions have been bad for a long time, so it's good to see them playing well.
I mean, it's we're gonna see when they start playing some of the upper echelon teams because they've been kind of hit or miss.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
I cannot get that taste out of my mouth when I saw them get just slaughtered by the Ravens.
Right.
I mean,
but it's like what team are they? Who are they?
Exactly.
They play well against the Chiefs. The defense looked pretty good against the Chiefs, and then the defense looks really bad against the Ravens. So there's a question of who the Lions are. So hopefully they get a home playoff game because I don't think they had a home playoff game probably since Barry Sanders was running around in the Silver Dome. So
and and that's very important for them because historically they're not a good road team.
No,
they're not a good road team at all.
No, not at all. I don't even. Well, if you want to say historically, they're just not a good team at all. I don't think they're home on the road. It doesn't matter. So, hey, let's talk a little college football here. The season has ended. A lot of the conference championships have been played, and we got the Final Four playing in the playoffs. But before that, this Saturday, Heisman Trophy finalists have been selected, and we'll find out who the Heisman Trophy winner is on Saturday. And so we got the 4 finalists: Jaden Daniels, Bo Nix from Oregon, Jaden Daniels from LSU, Washington's Michael Penix Jr., and Ohio State's receiver Marvin Harrison Jr. So we got those 4 in there. So the way I see it, and I say this all the time, even with the NFL MVP, the Heisman Trophy, it's a quarterback award. Like, I get it. You want to throw Marvin Harrison Jr. in there to give him some credit on an outstanding season, but seriously, he doesn't have a snowball chance in hell of winning this.
Well, people kind of say that when Smith won it too. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like they didn't think he was gonna win it, but he won it.
But he had a spectacular season that year.
Well, Marvin Harrison Jr. is comparable.
You think so?
I think he had a comparable season to what Smith had that year. I think he had like 2 less touchdowns, almost about the same amount of yards.
But did he have the same amount of receptions? Like Marvin Harrison Jr. has 67 receptions. So I would have assumed that.
I'm not sure exactly how much. Okay, so Smith had 98 receptions that year.
Yeah. So 67 is not a lot. Right. For 1,200 yards. I'm just like blown away by that. Especially when you play for Ohio State. It just seemed like he would have had way more receptions and yards than that.
Well, you remember they have a very talented running back field too, though.
That's true. They
have very talented run. They got 3 good running backs.
That's true.
So, they run the ball well.
Yeah, but I mean, in my opinion, this is Jaden Daniels' Heisman Trophy award. Period.
Yeah, man. But
I'm not being a homie. I'm not being a homer.
No, LSU. Yeah, right. I mean, I was kind of puzzled, like why he would be so far the odds-on favorite to win it until I saw those rushing yards.
Yeah,
1,100 rushing yards,
10 touchdowns rushing too.
Crazy for a running quarterback to have 1,100 yards. And like, what they play 11 games this year?
They played 11 games. Yes.
Yeah, that's
pretty impressive, right?
That is impressive.
Yes.
And with 40 touchdown passes.
Yeah,
that's pretty impressive.
3,800 yards passing, 40 touchdowns passing, and then you throw in the 1,100 yards rushing with the 10 touchdowns. So that's 50 touchdowns by this kid. That if that ain't Heisman Trophy award winning play, then I don't know what is. And there's no offense to Bo Nix. I think he had an outstanding year, 77% completion percentage, likely to take the record from Mac Jones. And what 4,100 yards or 4,200 yards passing, 40 touchdowns. That's impressive too. I think he had an outstanding year. What is it? Only 2 losses on the season. Jaden Daniels had 3. I think if he did had a 4th one, I think that would have knocked him out. But yeah, I mean, I think Bo Nix had a really good year too. But like you said, at 1,100 yards rushing and 10 touchdowns, accounting for 50 touchdowns, that's impressive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very impressive, and
Yeah.
I'm kind of rooting for Penix, man.
Me too.
Just for the simple fact of where he came from, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
He's been on this long struggle in college, and now
Right.
he's finally getting up there. Now it seems like he jumped over the hump, got over the hump, and now he's like a top-notch quarterback, might go in the first round type quarterback.
Right.
So it's like I kind of root for the underdog.
Me too. Me too. Reading his story, the fact that he's in his 6th season, he's been injured 4 times, and he's having that breakout year, and he led Washington to the playoffs. That's a great Heisman story too. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So yeah, now you do want to root for that kid. So who do you have winning it?
I mean, I don't know how you can't give it to Jalen Daniels. I really don't see how he does not win it with those numbers. Those numbers are very impressive. I mean, if he just had the running and the passing was very, low, like medium, but he was throwing the ball too. He was slinging it too.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, LSU's defense was so bad. he had to sling it. He had to put up big time numbers. And that's part of the reason why his numbers are so ridiculous, is because they were in some dog fights. I mean, 49-41 dog fights. Thanks for joining us again. We do this thing every week. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you next week.